Hey FlossTube, it's Becca with My Stitchy Home. Thanks for stopping by. Today's date is Thursday, October 1st, 2020. And again, my name is Becca. If this is your first time catching one of my YouTube videos, this is a channel mainly about cross stitch. I do sometimes talk about quilting or crochet or counted canvas work, but it's mainly cross stitch. And I think this is FlossTube number 20. However, you haven't seen FlossTube number 19, so I will title this FlossTube number 19-20. I actually recorded my last FlossTube on June 13th, and we had offered to buy a house and had it accepted. And I knew that I was about to jump into a lot of packing, a lot of sorting, a lot of decision making, and I desperately wanted to update you guys on my stitching and get it out there. But I recorded it, and then it was in 4 pieces. I knew I'd had to re-record a section. I knew that there was some editing involved, and I just couldn't bring myself to spend the time to edit when I knew I should be packing. So what I'm gonna do in this video is go over my recent haul and recent couple of start finishes that have happened since June 13th. Then I'll show you the June 13th FlossTube, and periodically in that FlossTube, this is what I think I'm going to do. Periodically in that FlossTube, when I give you an update of where I am on a project, then I'll insert a further update, like if I have finished it or made some more progress on it. And if I haven't, then I'll just continue on to the next project. But I have, after the move, we moved August 10th, and I put up a couple of videos in that July, Augusty time frame, just kind of a record and upload, no editing involved. And if you haven't seen those, go take a look, because they're recorded here at the new My Stitchy Home. But I said in the last one that I had not really been able to stitch much, and I was forecasting that a week after the move, I would hopefully be, I believe, if I'm remembering my video, that I said hopefully a week after we moved in, that I would be sitting right here and stitching. And I am pleased to report that I have sat right here or right there, one or the other. I've tried a couple of different things, and I've stitched. We just today got 2 Lazy Boy recliners, and until that happened, I was just most comfortable sitting right here at our breakfast table. So things are a new normal for us, in that we are settling in every day more and more into our new home. I love this home. It's all on one level. And if you're new here and you don't know, I do have arthritis, and I'm sure many of you do too, or just the aches and pains of getting older. And our previous home was a 2-story with all the bedrooms upstairs. So I just love this house, and we're still in the process of getting furniture. So my sewing crafting room is going to get a glassed-in bookcase and a desk and hutch. October 22nd is when they should deliver that. So I've been working on the built-in bookshelves. Just yesterday, I think, we were laying a shelf liner in the bottom shelves, And so I've got to still put shelf liner in the upper shelves and then figure out where do I want everything that I want to put on those shelves. And then when my new furniture arrives, I can load stuff into them. And then we have a sit-stand desk that we bought at IKEA that hasn't even been taken out of the box. I hope everything is there. I hope it works. It's a powered sit-stand desk, so it can be at a normal table desk height, and then if you want to say cut out fabric and you want to use a rotary cutter and a cutting mat and you want to stand to do that, then you can press a button and the whole table raises. And that's probably the table that I'm going to put my sewing machine on, so that when I'm sewing or quilting or whatever, that I'm in the middle of the room at that table. And then the rest of the furniture will be, all around me. Up first, and this is in no chronological order because I didn't take notes of when things happened. Sorry. But we were at Hobby Lobby, I think, and I found this pumpkin plate. And I got it to put it has a pumpkin and a black cat cross stitch that I finished. I can't find it. I remember picking up all of my finished but not yet fully finished items, and I remember packing them into something, and I haven't found them yet. But I went ahead and got this because I think that cross stitch will look really cute right here. And interestingly enough, in the wedding section, they had these, easels, and they were 50% off. And they were not 50% off in the picture area. So there you go. Hopefully I can show you the fully finished in my next floss tube. I've gotten some floss in from Crazy Annie's, let's see here. The Crazy Annie Stitchin' 2020 Floss of the Month Club. But I couldn't tell you, because I'm still not writing it down, what month this is. And I don't think I've shown you this before. If it's in the clip that I'm going to add to this June 13th one, then I don't know. I may take it out. But anyway, these are really pretty pastels. And then these are more fall colors, Classic Colorworks. I just love this, and I use these because I do sub a lot, or I come up with a pattern and I don't have some of the called for flosses, so I can go to my floss stash and my Classic Colorworks and usually find something that'll work. So if you haven't considered doing that, I encourage you. So all right, I think that's the floss. Then from, I think this was Stash Unload. I think it was a lady named Carol that she had this up for sale, and I didn't take it out of the package ahead of time. It's from Heinzeit, and it's mini block stitch, and I got the charms too. So, and let's see, maybe I can get a thumbnail out of that. Okay, so there's that. That should be a quick stitch. And I have done another Heinzeit that had the charms. I did one that said golf, and it had 4 golf related charms, and I gave that to my brother-in-law, so they are pretty quick. Then somebody had these 4 drawn thread charts, and I have like drooled over these in in shops, and I just couldn't pull the trigger. But they had these for sale with whatever little, you know, maybe some floss or beads, and so I went ahead and got them secondhand. So the drawn thread winter arbor, and these are actual photos on the front, so that's why you're seeing the glare. This is spring arbor, summer arbor. Now this one is not a photograph, and this one's not a photograph. Those colors. And I've seen some FlossTubers recently stitching on these. So they're still popular, still out there, still desirable. From, I think, Kitten Stitcher, I got Little House Needleworks Inspirational Scriptures. And I guess she released these individually at some point in the past, and then just recently came out with the pattern where they're all together, which is, I think, how I would like to stitch them. And Teresa had just a few of the flosses, so she sent what she had. I still have to go through my stash and see, you know, what I have or can use. And then I got 32 count baby sheep linen. Yes, linen. And let's see. It's not really yellow. It is like a, how do I get it to show accurate color? Anyway, it's really more, I don't know. It's more of a warm peach, I guess. And I'm not sure if I would do this on it. I don't remember if it was just a, oh, I'll get that, or if I had a plan. So I'll have to sort of look at what it is I'm wanting to kit up, and maybe something then will jog my memory. Okay, I don't remember who I got this from, but I've also looked at this many times and finally pulled the trigger. Long Dog Samplers Quilts, QUILTZ. It's 130 by 298 stitches. And let me know if you're stitching this, or if you're stitching the Arbor ones, or the Inspirational Scriptures. Let me know if you've got this in your stash or you're stitching it. Okay, then at Goodwill, I didn't bring it in here, but I actually found a Longa Burger basket. I'll show that in another video, or I'll get up and get it in a minute. But I got this plaque for $2.99 that I thought I could use for finishing. And for $1.99, I got this, you know, cutting board. And then these were a little less obvious. You know, it's a box with a decal on it, or a painting. It's not a decal, I guess it's a painting. And I thought, oh, you know, but it didn't seem to have a lid until I realized it was a slide lid. So I think I could use this to mount a cross stitch and then have, you know, I could paint it and have storage for whatever I need storage for, or give as a gift or a exchange. And then this same thing, it has a decal or painting. You can't really hardly feel it. But then I kind of had to look at it and realize that it too need to take some like soap or something, make it where it'll slide easier. But yeah. Now let's see, does that have the price on it? So that was $1.49. $1.49. Nope, I had it right the first way. $1.49. And the slightly smaller one was 89 cents. So I thought that was pretty good. All right, so that's, oh nope, I got one more thing. Kathy Crafty Cat Stitcher on FlossTube and now Etsy, she showed these floss rings that she made. It's got a little bird and a little button charm. And I ran over to her Etsy shop to get these. A little snowflake and another little snowflake. And then her husband made, he made this, and you can put your, you know, your scissors in it. So I just keep it here and put my scissors in it. And this is a past finish of mine. It's by Fern Ridge Collections, Pat Cherry and Peggy Tipton, and I followed their instructions, used their kit, and made this little scissor fob. So if you haven't checked out Crafty Cat Stitcher on Etsy, go take a look and see if she's got any of her thread rings or her husband's crafts in there, and yeah, check it out. Okay, I'm gonna pause this video and come back with some finishes. Okay, I don't have the magazine in front of me, but I went ahead and made a copy of the front of it so I could show you. This is from the Just Cross Stitch 2006 ornament issue, and it's called Christmas Joy, and it's by Jane Fate of Angel Stitchin'. And like, this was 2006, so I don't know if she is still designing or not, but I stitched this with various flosses, and she didn't have this in the pattern, but I used some gold floss over. She did have the red star, but I added gold floss over the top. And yeah, and I stitched this for somebody, so when I get it fully finished, I'll show that again. And I finished up Under a Quilt, Comforted by Love by Hands On Design. I have shown this when I was working on it in the past. I kind of dulled down the colors. And so you can see in the original, the quilt was purple, green, and red. And the pillowcases were white with red hearts. I did kind of a light blue pillowcase, and then I did blue, green, and red. I didn't do purple. And all the letters there are red, and I did red and blue. And I had quite a fiasco with the black here because I was using black coffee and ran out. And when I got more in, it was not the same color. So I had to kind of combine a couple of blacks to get the same color, and it looks fine. All that's left is to add a little cap button. And I don't have the button that the pattern calls for. I have another one that's yellow. And so I've ordered from 123 Stitch just another button company, a little black cat and a little gray cat. And one's a little bigger than the other. I may use both of them, but I didn't think the yellow cat that I had, the button I had, would really look right. So that's a finish, except for the button. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna fully finish it, but I know I want it to be able to hang on the wall. So I don't know if I painted this. How would that look? Would that look weird? And what would I paint it? Should I paint it white, red, black? Or not use it at all? It's the right size. Anyway, if you have any ideas, because I think we want to hang this, even my husband mentioned hanging it in the guest room. So, all right, and I haven't shown this in a while, but it was a really quick finish when I just sort of wanted something that I could quickly just take care of. And it is from My Lady's Needle Summer's Bounty Purse. And it was intended to be stitched on 32 count linen. It's 91 by 77 high. And then finished into this purse. Well, I got it from a stash sale. And it came with not the white purse, but the black purse. And in fact, I think she was selling the black purse separate, and I just wanted the pattern, and she gave me the purse. I think, if I remember correctly. So I got this. Well, I decided to stitch it on mono canvas instead of linen. And so I figured out what, how it would work, and it'll fit that opening. But I've got to figure out what to mount it on, some sort of interfacing. And I'm not sure if I want to put some sort of, fabric behind it. So I don't really like the light color showing through. So I might do, I don't know, a dark interfacing, maybe. But yeah, then I'll figure out how to attach it. This is just like a muslin, I think. And so I think I can just, either insert it and attach it, or I don't know, I'll have to work on that. But give me a little purse or tote bag. It's really more of a tote bag, I guess. So that's done. Yay. All right. Hey guys, I have one more finish. I almost forgot, so I had to come back and insert one more video in here. I finished up Orchid Intrigue, my version. It was in the February 2015 Just Cross Stitch magazine, and that's what it looked like. It's by Beth Ann Seal, And I stitched mine mostly with Karen Wildflower's Nefertiti, which is this multicolored, kind of a twisted floss. You just use it as it comes off the skein. And so, yeah. Maybe I put that in front. I don't know. Anyway, so I tried to direct the cranberry color to be in the hearts that were in the corners and in the center. And then I let the floss just sort of play out everywhere else. And then these, what I considered kind of like a flower, I stitched those in a green pearl cotton. I think it was DMC 367, 8 count, 8 count, size 8, maybe. This was my birthday start, March 24th. I did a birthday start with Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher. So Erin, I got mine done. My birthday start is done. And I think this will be probably a box top. Stay tuned, because I'm not sure. So yay, another finish. I'll send you back to the rest of the program. All right, so this is where I'm going to insert my June 13th floss tube, and I'll kind of edit it as necessary. And in it is the giveaway of my extra copy of I Went to Church Sunday by the Sampler Company, Brenda Keys. I ordered this from Brenda Keys and it didn't come in, and I was about to start a stitch along with Stacy, the 911 Stitcher. So I quickly ordered it from Kitten Stitcher, and she shipped it right away, and it arrived, and then the next day this one arrived. So I ended up with 2, whereas I just thought, you know, Brenda had never gotten my order or something, that something happened. So this is going to go to a lucky winner later in this video. So stay tuned for that. If you know that you put in for this, keep watching, because your odds are super good that you won it. Okay, I'll catch you as I go and update you on my projects as needed. Hey FlossTube, welcome to my Stitchy home. My name is Becca, and today's date is Saturday, June 13th, 2020. Welcome, thanks for stopping by. It has been a month and a half since my last regular floss tube. I believe today is floss tube number 19. In between number 18 and today, I did put up 10 floss tube specials with the reason being I was celebrating my 1 year on FlossTube, and I wanted to do a whip and kit parade for my cross stitch, my quilting, and my needlepoint and counted canvas work. So that's what I did. And it did not include recent whips that I had just shown the floss tube before. It did leave out a few things, and then after I put those 10 videos up over, what, 2.5 weeks or just over 2 weeks, I've discovered more kits, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy, but in a good way. All right, so today I want to show you what I've been working on for the past 6 weeks. I have a few whips, things that you've seen before, and I have 1, 2, 3, 5 starts. No, that's a whip. 4 starts and 4 whips. 5 whips. Sorry, 5 whips. I am sitting in a little different position. Normally, I am sitting on the other side of this table with my back to curtains that separate this room from the foyer. And so I decided today I would sit in front of my design wall with a quilt that's been up there for 2 years, waiting for me to sew it together. And I really thought with the whole shelter in place, I would take it down and piece by piece sew them together, and I haven't done it yet. So anyway, I'm looking at it in the screen and it's very colorful. So, but it will get done. It will get done eventually. So let's just jump right in with my progress. All right, so first up is what I call the 2 rows per week band sampler. And let's see, I liked kind of how I showed you last time where I had stopped, and okay, I think I had made it through April. All right, so I think I had stopped right around in here. And let me show you from the beginning. Starting here, I did all this, and to here. And so since I saw you last, I've done all of this. And, oh, sorry. I'm stitched through 6/2, June 2nd. Like I said, today is June 13th. So now I'm, I guess I'm 2 rows. Technically, I'm 2 rows behind. That's okay. That's okay. That was a lot of rows to catch up on. So here's where I am now from the beginning. I have not yet outlined the words. I know they don't show it very well, but this is where I've gotten to. And the colors are blue, purple, and yellow in Weeks Dye Works. And the variegated floss is Mermaid. The variegated floss is Mermaid, I think. I didn't look at that. Okay, here's my October 1st update. So from June 13th to October 1st, I worked on this only a little bit, and I went from June 9th, the week of June 9th, because you do 2 rows a week, and I am now down to finishing up July 21st over here. So all right, so let me show you where I am. You've seen everything down to here, and so now I'm finishing up July 21st. Clearly, I have a ways to go because I have to finish up July, August, and September. And now we're into October, so there you go. But I'm going to work on that for a while, so there's my update on 2 rows a week. Okay. How y'all been? You been getting a lot of stitching done? Are you getting back out into your town or city, interacting with people, or are you still staying home? We are mostly staying home, but we have, you know, gone to the store and the post office and the bank. I'm trying to think anything else that I've done. Oh, to the doctor. Pretty much, you know, just still treating it as we should be sheltering in place. The numbers are up for COVID-19 here in Columbus. As everybody says, oh, it's probably due to more testing. I think Memorial Day had something to do with it. I think a lot of people were, you know, even if they were trying to social distance, they were getting together with family or friends and grilling out and that sort of thing. And just somebody that is asymptomatic or has a bad headache or a little cough and just doesn't really think that much of it. They just think it's normal, I don't feel well today, and inadvertently spreads it to other people. I think it's going to be like this for a while. This is a good thing I have a lot of stash, right? Okay, next up, I had not worked on this between March and my end of April FlossTube, but I've worked on it now. It's A New Beginning by Abby Lane Designs. And so I've moved up into this corner. All the other stuff is stuff I had stitched previously, but I've started working on this corner motif. And this is all Week Stye Works called for floss. So that was, for some reason I just wanted something different, and I grabbed this and worked on it a little bit. My Be Well and Stitch sampler, there's no one pattern for this. I'm using the various freebie charts that came out a couple months ago for the Be Well and Stitch movement. When I showed this to you last, I had started on this design by Stitchin' Mommy on FlossTube. So I finished that. I've modified. Hers had these specialty stitches along the side. Hers was a little longer, and it said Pray Well and Stitch, and then God is on the Throne. I was trying to fit it into this specific space so that I'll have room for other designs below, but on the side over here, I am planning to put Jeanette Douglas free chart. And I've seen several people stitching this, and I will just stitch it with colors, probably other colors I've already used in my Be Well and Stitch sampler. And so that'll finish off the top row, and then I'll start, I don't know, probably working down the other side. I think I've got a 15 or 16 little designs I want to put in my Be Well and Stitch sampler. Have not worked on that lately. I finished up Stitchin' Mommy's design and then jumped into something else. I also have not spent much time working on my Linen and Threads Mystery Stitch Along. When I showed it to you last, I had just started working on April a little bit. I've done a little bit more of the April flower pot, but it's still got flowers all up in here to do. And then I've got to do May, and then I've got to do June. So when I worked on the Linen and Threads Mystery Stitch Along for 2017, I actually didn't start it until 2018. And then I finished it up in 2019. And it's a bell pull hanging right there. I just did the center third of that Linen and Threads Mystery from 2017. Yep. Hopefully that's right. So I've sort of come to the conclusion that even though I wanted to keep up with this is a lot more stitches than I realized. And so I'm gonna work on it here and there, but I've already decided this is gonna continue. I mean, I think with everything else that I'm wanting to work on, I'm pretty sure that's going to run into 2021. And I just have to hope that the 2021 design is not like calling my name so I can continue to work on this, because I do. I love the fabric. It's Zweigart lavender fabric. I love the miscellaneous threads that I picked in the blue, green, purple, gray. Okay, my October 1st update on the Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler. I'll show you first the clue that came out today for October. So this is January through September, and now October. And since the June 13th video where I had shown progress on the April, this little vase or planter or whatever it is, I finished April. Woo! Woohoo! Yeah. So there's April, that great big vase of flowers. So January through April are complete. And as I think I said, I know that that's gonna just be something I plug away at. It took me a couple of years to get the 2017 one done, so it may take a couple of years for me to get 2020 done. Okay, send you back. But I've just got so many things I want to work on. And like I had shown last time that I started my Arbor Day start. Aaron, the 2 Martini Stitcher, had put out a call, did anybody want to work on this? And I thought, I want to work on it. So I started it with her for Arbor Day, and I worked on it for, I started over here, and I think when I showed it to you last, I just had a little bit done right here. I worked on it for, I think, 3 days, April 24th, 25th and 26th, something like that, and then put it aside, and then started on it again May 1st, because this was my monogamania, basically. The thing that I wanted to work on every day for 20 days in May, trying to at least start a tree or animal every day. And I did way more than that, but that was what I was shooting for. And so I got page 1 and 8, I think, done. This was page 1, and then this was page 8. There's a lot of DMC in this. This is a bird with little baby birds in a nest. And I actually stitched the wrong color on the nest, and I just decided to stitch over it with the correct brown. That worked out. And then the really cool thing is this fox. This fox's name is Steph for Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching. So Steph is watching the forest grow with all the bunnies. There's a rabbit there and a bunny there, and all the birds. It's a really neat. You get a lot of satisfaction by just, you know, each motif as you finish it. It's a lot of thread changes, but I kind of had to right up front say this is Rosewood Manor. There's going to be a lot of different colors in a small area. It may only be 1 stitch or 3 stitches, and I'm good with that. It's going to give me the look that I want as charted, so I am good with that. All right, so since June 13th till today, October 1st, I've worked on what would be page 2 and page 9, and I've completed them. Well, except for one mouse. I'm short. I didn't stitch. Can you even see it? Yeah. There's a mouse right there. I haven't done him yet. But I did part of page 3 and part of page 10, so, you know, I should get some credit for that, right? Well, there you go. I had planned to work on this August 1st through August 20th, and then we decided to buy a house and move, and I didn't work on it at all until September 13th, I guess, and it took me about 2 weeks to get page 2 and then right below it page 9, and then I did, like I said, I went over into page 10. This is my initials, and at the top there's a couple of trees that also went into page 3, like, you know, this tree was cut in half and this tree, so yay. I hope to pull this out for a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, whatever it takes to do page 3 and page 10. I hope to pull it out in November. All right, and that's my whips that I had started previous. Then since I saw you last, or technically since my FlossTube 18, I have started 4 things. I started the Saltbox Quilt Sampler by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. This was a Mother's Day start, and I believe it was also started by Lisa Smith, the Kindred Stitcher, Shonda Stitching in Idaho, and I think Carol the Saltbox Stitcher. And this is where I've gotten to, using all but 2 are the called for, and I'm stitching 1/2 for like the letters and the house and stuff, but I am stitching, is that right? Yeah, I'm stitching 2/2 for the trees and the roofs, but the walls are just 1/2. But I enjoyed this very, very much. It was a bit tedious, just all the, you know, all the stitching in on the walls, but the letters were really fun. The trees are really fun. So I picked that up. I worked on it for a few days. I worked on it for Mother's Day, put it aside, worked on it for a few more days, put it aside, worked on it for a few more days. Since June 13th, this is where I'm at on the Saltbox Quilt Sampler. I made a decision that affects this project as well as the next one, and that is, I wasn't real happy with stitching 1/2, and so I'm going back, and I haven't finished everything, but I'm going back and adding and putting a cross, another one strand or one ply cross over the places that I had stitched with just one ply, so that it'll end up being 2 strands over 2. And I like the, I don't know, the more solid look of that for some reason. I thought I would like in some places I like it being open and airy and light, but for some reason I just didn't feel like the colors were saturated enough. So that's where I am as of October 1st. And then the next Sunday, May 17th, I went to church Sunday by Brenda Keys at the Sampler Company. And if you haven't seen my last FlossTube number 18, you should see it. I talk about this. This just really tickled me. I went to church on Sunday. My love, she passed me by. I knew her mind was changing by the roving of her eyes. And so they were roving away to somebody else. And I think in this picture, I mean, there's various people here, but my plan is this woman and this woman. I don't know if you can, oh gosh, can you see? There's a woman there and a woman there. My plan is to stitch their dresses, one in my favorite color, which is kind of a purpley blue, and one in Cobalt, which is Stacy the 911 Stitcher. We're doing this as a stitch along, and I want to stitch the other woman in her favorite color, the dress in her favorite color. And I'm making some other changes too. I didn't really care for the orange underneath the roof or the black windows, and I may change this to not be quite so orangey gold. I'll see. I think Stacy started with the border and she didn't care for the coloring. So you'll see I've changed things up. I changed, instead of orange or rust up here, I changed it to Lexington green, which is a gray green. My thought being it's a shadow of sorts from the roof. And I'm just stitching this 1/2 on. Why did I not look this up? I think it's 36 count. I'm not sure. And then I used the colors, some of the called for colors, but I used them to create kind of a stained glass look to the windows and the door, and did black shutters instead of gray shutters. So that's how far I've gotten. I just started, I'm guessing this is a dog or a sheep, I'm not sure, and then there's a guy right here. It was a lot of stitching, ripping out to get me to that point. But I like the church idea of stitching a church. I like the willow tree, and I just thought the saying was really funny. Sad, I suppose. His love is interested in somebody else, so I guess that's not very good. But when Stacy showed she was going to stitch it, I thought, oh, I'll get that and stitch it too. And I actually got it from Kitten Stitcher, and I had ordered it previous to that. I had ordered it from Brenda Keys, the designer, and hadn't heard anything as of my last FlossTube, but it did arrive shortly thereafter. And so I have 2 copies, so one of those is a giveaway, and we'll do that later in today's video. I'll draw a name, or do the random comment picker to draw a name. All right, as of October 1st, this is where I am. I went to church sampler from Brenda Keys. I've finished filling in the stained glass windows. I am in the process of adding a second ply of floss to all those windows. I still need to do the roof to darken it up, but like you can tell the shutters that have 2-ply versus the shutters that just have 1. So I've got a little work to do there. These two ragamuffins here represent me and my husband. And my husband said, "Why am I wearing knickers? And why are you so skinny?" And I was like, "Well, you have nice legs, so you should wear knickers. And a girl can dream, you know, a girl can dream." So, and then these two shadows, I haven't filled them in yet, represent Stacy, the 911 stitcher, and her husband Rick. And I'm gonna use her favorite floss color to do. She gave me like 4 different DMC colors, and so I'm gonna use them to do her dress and his jacket. And so the last thing I worked on, just real recent, was this tree and this rider. And I did change up, like on the horse, I did 2 different shades of brown, neither of which were the brown that like the tree is. So I'm just making it my own. I used some brown or tan floss in the ground here, and a different shade of green over here. Again, I don't know, I just wanted to give it something. Something. So I told Stacy, we sort of said we'd try to work on this every Sunday, but I've forgotten some Sundays, just plain out forgot. So going forward, when I can remember, I think I'm going to start working probably from over here, start working on the border and try to work on the border a little bit, and then work a little bit more on the interior. And just one last glance at that. I'm just afraid if I just wait and do the border at the end, I'll get bored. So do you guys get bored when you do like the same design over and over for a border? Do you try to like vary that? I mean, it seems like I've heard people talk about doing that, and I thought, you know, this is probably a project that I should apply that technique to. So, and I haven't decided if I'm changing the color of my border flowers. I'm thinking I might. I don't know to what, but stay tuned. All right, then I also started June 1st, the Needleworker Sampler by Sue Hillis Designs. And it's got these little charms on it and some buttons. And this is called for DMC and fabric. And I had stitched in here the 1, 2, 3, 4 or 0, 1. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then found out I was half of a stitch off, and if I didn't move it, it was gonna mean that there would only be 1 thread or half of a stitch separating, because I'm stitching 1 over 2, and so I just said I'll rip it out. But each one of these is a different color from its neighbor, so they're not like all in the same color. They repeat, like color 1, color 2, color 3, color 1, color 2, color 3. So I didn't get very far, and then I said, oh, I'm tired of frogging. Put that aside for a little bit. Now I had a goal to start two things in June because June of last year, 2019, I was gifted these items at StitchCon. So this one, So She Did, which is a pattern by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet Company. One of the ladies at my table at StitchCon, Beth Pierce, she gifted this to me. And when she heard that I was a sewer and a quilter, and so I buckled down this week. I just started this last Sunday, and I am stitching it with not the called for. I am stitching it with Aurifil 12 weight. I've enjoyed stitching with these 12 weight threads, and where the pattern called for two shades of turquoise here, I used this color as my second shade. So that's the back end of the, that's the back end of the sewing machine. And then you put buttons. There's buttons all up in here and on the dials, and I will look to see what I have in my stash for that. So I got a finish, y'all. I got a finish. So since June 13th, I pulled this back out. It's a lot of stitches. So like when you get an outline of an area in, then you can kind of just stitch and stitch and stitch. I did have to supplement my Aurifil flosses with a green pearl cotton for this letter, so that I would have two shades of green, because the little floss pack just came with one shade of green. And there you go. So what's left to do on this for it to be completely done are, I'm going to look through my button collection and look for, I know I've got some red buttons. I'm hoping I have different colored, buttons that I can put in. And yeah. And I might look to see if I have it seems like I have a little strawberry button, or I might look for one, at Joann's and just dangle a little strawberry off of the tomato pin cushion. And I'm not sure how I will fully finish it. It's shown, framed. And, I could do that and then hang it up in my sewing room. Yeah, I don't know. So, yay, I got it finished. Okay, I've gathered up the items that I purchased. My haul, I guess. But first, I wanted to tell you that in my last regular floss tube, I had shown that I had not stitched two of the, I think it was these two little gold, I think it's 4 stitches each. And I did finish it. So this now can be fully finished to place it on the front of a tote bag. I did want to tell you I did that. And then from Kitten Stitcher, I received the Lady Dots Creates in the color Union, which is a blue. I received the Chanel trim. I have not glued it in, but that is... It's kind of hard to see in this light. It's getting dark outside, but anyway, that's my plan, is to put the Chanel trim around the tray. Also from Kitten Stitcher, I got 3 at the Classic Colorworks in old blue jeans. Oh, let's see, do I have anything white? Oh, oh, yep. Okay. So definitely looks like old blue jeans. And that's to do the A Study in Blue. That's what I got those for, but I took the pattern upstairs and I just didn't want to go back up the stairs to pick it up. I had also received in my last video, or in my last regular, no, in my special number 1, I think. I don't remember, or special number 2. I talked about I got 2 of the I went to church on Sunday patterns, and there were 2 people who expressed an interest and told me what they were. They answered the question, which was to say what was the pattern they were most looking forward to stitching. And Patricia Mason said Ebenezer's Christmas by Erica Michaels, because A Christmas Carol was her favorite movie. And Deanna Chavez, I think, said she was working on and needed to get back to Harriet Salt by Hands Across the Sea. And I, even though I only had 2 people, I did the random picker and it picked Deanna. So congratulations, Deanna. You have won this pattern. If you'll let me know your address by emailing me at mystitchyhome@gmail.com, I will put this in the mail to you. And that will take care of the fact that I have a duplicate. And if you want to stitch it with myself and with Stacy the 911 Stitcher, that'd be great. Okay, from some more things. From Crazy Annie's, I got my March Classic Colorworks Floss of the Month, and I think I should have 6 here, and I think I took 1, because there's only 5. I vaguely remember taking 1. I think that's where I remember taking 1. And then I got maybe that was April, and this is May. Maybe that's what it was. I need to start putting a little note in there saying what month it is, because by the time I record, I've forgotten. So maybe this is May, and beautiful spring colors. So I recommend Crazy Annie's stitching her Floss of the Month. She has several clubs, so you should check her out and see if there's something there that you would like. But I certainly am enjoying adding to my inventory of floss, and there's more and more patterns using the Classic Colorworks, it seems like, so that's good. And then from Stash Unload, I think, Elizabeth Hudson, I purchased 2 pieces of fabric. One is a Zweigert Belfast Linen 32 count blue spruce, and it's 18 by 28. I'm gonna fold it back up again. That's probably accurate. It's a dark blue spruce, very pretty. And then 2 pieces of 32 count linen in the color Laurel, Laurel. So it's not quite as yellow-green. Maybe that's a little better picture of it. There's 2 pieces. And I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but I got them. I'll find something. And then from my cousin's friend, Jamie Mikowski, who I've met at a retreat, she has an online shop, the Stitchers Stash, and I'll put her information down below. But I bought 2 pieces of fabric from her. 32 count hand-dyed linen vintage blue whisper. It's an 18 by 26 inch piece. And I won't open it up, but again, maybe that's a little better. Yeah, it's kind of blown out there. So anyway, light blue, subtle modeling, and then a 32 count hand-dyed linen, nearly spring green. Nearly spring green, 18 by 27 inches. Let's see. It's hard to see. It's green. I mean, it's a pale green, but it is definitely green. So anyway, we'll see what happens with those. Those are very pretty. And then the final thing is from 123 Stitch. I saw Pam from Just Keep Stitching shared that she bought this pattern. It's from Butternut Road. It's called Winter Sampler. It's designed by Marilyn Levitt Emblem. Butternut Road, but the pattern name is Winter Sampler. And I think there's a summer sampler too. Anyway, hopefully you can see that. I know there's glare. That's it. That's my haul, stash, whatever, stash acquisition. So I need to get busy fully finishing some things. However, y'all, I think we're moving into a new house, a new to us house. So I'm going to be busy packing. I don't know how much of the stitching that I have these grand ideas I'm going to do. I'll do something into the pieces that I'm planning to work on in the rest of June and into July, but it may be sparingly, just enough to calm me down at the beginning and end of a day. But then I'll be busy packing. So Deanna, be sure and give me your address, and I'll see y'all as soon as I can come back and give you an update on another floss tube. Okay, hold up guys. So what I cut out of the June 13th video were all of my July and August plans because none of it came to fruition. I didn't work on the whips that were patriotic. I didn't start things I thought I would start. So I just cut that out. Here we are, October 1st, and my next kind of start is going to be a little one. It's this I Voted, and it's by Ink Circles, and it's a free chart. I'm pretty sure you can get it on the Ink Circles website. So I'm going to stitch that possibly on some perforated paper and then back it with felt, and then I've got my mail-in ballot, and once I cast that, I guess I can wear the I Voted pin whenever I go out and about, and hopefully remind and encourage people to vote. So please vote. Figure out what you need to do and vote. And I know imminently I'm going to keep stitching on my 2 rows a week. And on Sundays I'm going to try to stitch on, I went to church on Sunday. And from time to time I pull out this because this is lovely. I love that. And then in, like I said, in November, so next month, I'll pull out End of Forest Grew. And hopefully I'll be inspired at some point to start working on May or any other month in the Linen and Threads Mystery. The patterns are out there on the Linen and Threads Mystery website, Facebook group. I forget. Just Google Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler and you'll find this. And you'll also find the one for 2019, 2018, and 2017. And I think that's it. So, yeah. Hopefully I'll get some progress on this. And that's it. Hope to see you, in about a month. And give you good news. I hope y'all are doing well. Thanks for stopping by my Stitchy home. Bye, everybody. Happy stitching.